Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. One of the law enforcement officers' jobs is to protect citizens from violations of the law regardless of their background. In carrying out this enforcement, sometimes the highway patrol runs into a community whose members feel that taking the law into their own hands is justified.
Morning, Eunice.
Mr. Crane, what brings you here?
We hear your father's getting out of prison today.
That's right, he is.
Well, we hear it said that he's going to be living around here.
Right on this farm, Mr. Crane. He'll be working with me and Jess. Who is we?
Well, the people of Sycamore had a meeting last night and decided, for the good of the town and our children, well, we took up a collection to help them get started elsewhere.
Oh, you did you? My father's been in prison 5 years. That's a long time to be locked up. It takes a lot out of a person. And I'm going to do whatever I can to make things easy for him.
We understand that, Eunice, but to be honest with you, we don't very much like the idea.
I don't care what you or any of the other people around here like. Nor do I need any of your collections. My father is arriving here today, and he's going to stay here.
We don't want you to take it personally, Eunice. We like you.
Well, I am taking it personally. And who gave you the right to come here and tell me where my father's to live?
We're talking for everybody in the community.
You're not talking for me. Now, you better get out of my house.
I hate to see you take it this way, Eunice. We're trying to do it proper. Your father's not staying in Sycamore. What was Crane doing around here?
He made it pretty plain the town doesn't want my father living here.
That's nothing to worry about. He's always blowing off steam about one thing or another.
Maybe. But he said they wouldn't allow him to stay in Sycamore. I'm not taking any chances. I'm calling the highway patrol. Operator? Operator?
I'll get it. Highway patrol. Yes, Mrs. Gable? Mm-hmm. Say, the man who did the talking was Joe Crane.
Yes. He might have only been talking, but it sounded like he meant business. I think it's a downright shame that a man can't live in peace after he's paid for his mistakes.
Well, what time does your father arrive, Mrs. Gable?
I imagine he'll be coming in on the train. It comes through here at 11:30. And I think you should be there, officer, just in case there's any trouble.
Well, I don't think there's anything to worry about. But I'll drop by just the same. Goodbye. You expect to see you this afternoon?
Finished in Centerville last night, got on the road early. How's everything, all right?
Fine. Here's a report you wanted to see. How long can you stay?
I'll be here a couple of days. How's that rough stretch of highway holding up?
Oh, all right. We clamped down on the speeders about a month ago. Got them slowed down to a walk.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. What's your schedule?
That phone call I just got was from a farmer's wife. Seems the town's complaining about her father. He gets out of prison today, and he's coming to live with her. Thought I'd take a run over and see what's up.
What's his name?
Parole board sent me a rundown. His name was Gerald Gray.
Gerald Gray. Gerald Gray. Oh, sure, I remember. Made the arrest myself. 2 guys, Gray and Adams. 3 counts, armed robbery.
I remember now, too. He was a pretty bad character. Made a lot of threats in the courtroom against you.
They always threaten the arresting officer.
You know, he continued making the threats long after he's in prison.
That figures. After a while, they get the business out of him, though. I'll ride over with you.
Well, I can take care of it. No use you getting involved.
Threats are a dime a dozen. You can't tell what the farmers are going to do. Come on.
Did the patrolman say he'd stop by here?
Said he'd be over. I don't know whether he meant here or the train station.
Oh, he'll probably stop by, talk to us a bit. Got plenty of time. Why don't you relax? Take a nap.
I don't want to take a nap. I just want my father to get here without any trouble. I didn't expect to see you here.
I'm just in the area on a routine inspection, that's all.
Come in, please.
Thanks very much.
Last time we met was in the courtroom.
I remember it was a little more than 5 years ago.
Mrs. Gable, you said Joe Crane made threats against your father.
Yes, his farm's close by here.
The good people of this community took up a collection. Offered us money to get my father-in-law away from here.
And when I told him I didn't want any money, he said they're not going to let him stay. That it was decided at a meeting.
Train gets here in about a half hour. Let's check the station.
Of course, you realize what my father thinks of you.
Indeed, I do.
Looks like Eunice called the highway patrol.
Well, there's nothing they can do.
There's Crane and one of the farmers.
Let's talk to him.
Hello, Johnson.
Gentlemen, Mr. Matthews, the highway patrol.
How are you? I hear the complaints that you don't want Gerald Gray to stay in Sycamore.
Nothing wrong with that, is there? We took up a collection so Mr. Gray could get started elsewhere, but Eunice, well, she didn't like the idea.
When she refused the money, did you say you'd get Gerald Gray out of Sycamore?
Well, I didn't quite pin it down that much. I just let Eunice know the way people around here feel.
How strong are the feelings?
We've got a nice community here, Mr. Matthews. We don't welcome the likes of Gerald Gray coming here to mess it up.
If he messes it up, it's our job, not yours.
That might be, but we aim to see he doesn't get the chance.
Eunice had left him where he belongs, there wouldn't be any trouble.
Who's going to start trouble?
You're in a funny position, aren't you, Mr. Matthews? Protecting a criminal against good citizens.
I enforce the law against any violations whatsoever.
That's pretty fancy talk to cover up a criminal.
Anybody who breaks the law is a criminal in my book. Remember that. Come on.
He's right, Crane. He's not right. They can't stay here forever. And when they leave, we'll be moving Gray out of here at the end of a rifle.
What are they doing here?
They haven't broken any laws.
Maybe if you get rid of them, there wouldn't be any laws broken.
Look, I can't do that.
The truth be known, maybe you'd like to see some trouble.
They're only standing there. If any laws are broken, I'll do something.
Well, it seems to me you don't care much one way or the other.
I have no more right to take the law into my own hands than they do.
Well, we might as well leave. We can't do anything here.
Yeah, let's go.
But we're not going far. We'll be at the Gable farm when Gray arrives.
Well, what are we going to do there?
Whatever we have to do.
Well, maybe you talk some sense in their heads.
Did he definitely say he'd be on that train?
He said he was coming straight home. This is the only train that comes through here today.
Well, we'll call you later in the day to see if you've heard from him.
Come on, Eunice.
Want to go on with your inspection?
Yeah, might as well. It's lucky I'm around here at this time.
What do you mean?
Well, with the farmers leaving, grain not showing up.
Might as well leave. He's not with them.
But we'll be back. Whenever he arrives, we'll know about it.
It's good to be back. I never had a better feeling than 3 months ago when I got out. I know what you mean. There were times when I didn't care, but once you get out, yeah, that feels great.
Well, you ready to go to work again, or you want to relax for a while first?
Relax? I got no time to relax. That's why I had you meet me here instead of Sycamore. We can talk before we get to my daughter's.
You know, I'm glad to hear you feeling that way. I got a couple of things lined up. You know, it's all behind us, Jerry. Now we can just look ahead.
We can get a bite to eat in here and talk.
That'll be like old times. You know, I was afraid your wanting to get that Cot Matthews would stand in the way.
It does. That's the first thing I have to do.
I thought you'd given up that idea.
Never. The man responsible for my being in that place, he's going to pay. Once Matthews is dead, we'll be back in business.
Gerald Gray and Stacy Adams were on their way to Sycamore. Gray did not know that farmers in the area were intent on preventing his staying by means of force, if necessary. Nor did Gray know that Matthews, the man he had dedicated himself to killing, was also in the town.
Jerry, why worry about Matthews? Let the past remain where it is. This is where it is. It's been there ever since that day in the courtroom when I got sentenced. I feel like an old man, Stacy. The last 5 years were a lifetime. But what about our plans? The plans we spent 5 years mapping out if you're going to spend all your time looking for that guy.
It won't take long. As soon as I see the daughter and rest up a few days, I'll find him and kill him. I wasn't talking through my hat in that prison. I meant it then, and I mean it now.
But what good is it going to do you? You send me up too, yet I don't have any hankering to kill him. He laid a trap for us. I got a slug in my shoulder that never lets me forget. If it hadn't have been for Matthews, the last 5 years never would have happened. Jerry, I'm telling you, it's useless. The guy was doing his job, and we got caught. That's all there is to it. Killing him isn't going to bring those 5 years back.
You're right, Stacy. Everything you say is true. But he was still responsible. And I'm going to kill him. Come on. My daughter will be worried since I didn't come in on that train.
It's been an hour, Jess. I think you would have called me by now.
Well, he didn't tell you he'd be on that train, Eunice. Maybe he just stopped to see some friends before coming here.
He said he'd be here today. I don't like it with that Matthews around. And Crane and Britton stirring up trouble. I just wish he'd get here.
Gray, all right.
It's him.
We'll wait a minute. Maybe he's not going to stay.
Hi there.
Oh, hi. Oh, let me look at you. Oh, damn.
Hello, Jess.
Jess, doesn't he look wonderful?
Thank you.
Oh.
Here, let me take this.
Oh, thanks. Come on, Stacy.
Come on. When you weren't on the train, I wondered what had happened.
Well, Stacy surprised me and picked me up at the prison.
How do you feel?
Well, as good as anyone feels, I guess, after being locked up for 5 years.
You go sit down, Dad. I'll get you something warm to drink.
If they're not coming out, we're going in.
What's the matter, Jess? Expecting someone?
No, not really.
Maybe you and Mr. Adams would like to rest up a little.
Are you having trouble around here because of me? Eunice, you've always leveled with me.
It's not serious, Dad. Just some of the farmers got their dander up.
They don't like the idea of an ex-con hanging around, huh?
Look, there won't be any trouble. That Matthews fella will probably...
Matthews? What's he doing around here?
I just called the patrol to make sure the farmers wouldn't get themselves into trouble. Matthews came along with the patrolman from this area.
My old friend Matthews, right here in Sycamore.
Come on out, Gray. We're not going to wait much longer. We want to talk to you. It's Crane and Britton. They both have rifles.
Is Matthews still in town?
He said he'd be here a few days.
Eunice, try and get Matthews on the phone. Jess, you better get us a couple of guns. Stacy and I might have to defend ourselves. Looks like we're going to get started on those plans of yours faster than I thought.
Don't start anything with Matthews around here.
Why not? Somebody else will be doing the dirty work for us.
What do you mean?
Those two yokels out there. We'll start a little gunfight with them.
But some of these farmers know how to handle guns.
Sure, for shooting at rabbits. Not at men. Armed men. We can keep it going as long as we want. And then when Matthews arrives, I'll get my chance at him.
But there'll be other people around, witnesses.
So much the better. We can keep these farmers firing at us over in the brush area. And then when the big hero shows, he'll walk right into the end of my rifle.
You're going to wind up back in prison, and this time on a murder rap.
I don't think so. It'll be confusing over there with all that gunfire. We got a right to protect ourselves, and that's just what we'll be doing. Matthew's death will look like an accident, and no one will be able to prove otherwise.
Come on out, Gray. We'd like to talk to you.
Oh, thanks, Jess. We'll go out the side door, circle around, draw him into the brush. Eunice is calling the highway patrol. Tell them what we're up against.
Look, wouldn't it be better if you waited on the inside?
I know what I'm doing, Jess. I don't want Eunice caught in the middle of any shooting.
Hey, I heard something. Let's go around and back, quick.
Don't let him see your rifle.
they are, Joe.
You better come over right away. They've already started shooting at each other.
Gray arrived with his old crime partner, Adams. They're having a gun battle, those two farmers. His daughter's out.
We're going to need help. Call the nearest unit. Have them get over there as fast as you can. Come on.
Spread out. The more we move around, the more shots they'll fire.
There's a shot.
Hey, Joe, they've got guns.
Keep moving. Keep them busy. I want to be right there when Matthew shows.
Right.
He was in the house when Crane and Britton came up to the front. They had to defend themselves.
I don't get it. What time did we get the call?
About 7 minutes ago.
Gable said they were already firing.
Yeah, he did.
Just doesn't figure. Pros like Gray and Adams could take these guys in 2 minutes.
And there's only one reason why they haven't.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You see them?
Yeah, I make out 2 figures right there. It's got to be Crane and Britton. They're firing their rifles all over the place.
Adams and Gray must be moving around, trying to keep them confused.
All right, you move out.
I'll swing way out and around, make sure I'm behind them.
I'll move slowly, give you a chance to get there. Go ahead.
Hold it, Gray! He was zeroed right in on you.
A man's revenge lives for a long time, doesn't it?
We had him figured right, didn't we?
What do you mean?
Gray. He was a bad character to the end. I was right all the time.
You were, huh? Let's see how you turn out. Cuff him. Leave your blood at the Red Cross or your community blood bank, not on the highway. This is Broderick Crawford saying, see you next week.